Welcome everybody to episode 255 of The China Show, The Real China Show. We have a massive expose today.
Yeah.
All right, now we're talking about the chemical thing, which you've seen in the thumbnail. It's big, but just this morning we came across something which was really, really big. We've been working on it all day. It's coming later in the show, and it's quite special, something that you're going to have to be here for. Try to get as many people in to take a look, because we're going to be exposing some deep propaganda, some crazy stuff.
Further than that, something happened yesterday, and I can't believe it happened.
Yes, exactly.
It will be, I'll put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. It will be very interesting to see what happens in the chat / in the stream today.
Yes.
Not drama-wise, just like to see if any attacks happen here, because let's just say that we got the attention of the Chinese government. But when I say the attention of the Chinese government, I'm not talking about some embassy. I'm not talking about a diplomat. I'm not talking about some shill. I'm not talking about CGTN or state media. I'm talking about the very top, the tippy top of the Chinese government. So you will follow me, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Where even is that? Here.
You'll follow me, okay?
I do want to say, encourage people so that this gets to people's feeds right now, just because we do want as many people in here live as possible, just in case, the stream goes down or something, to click like. So click like right now. We'll try to get those likes up and try to make sure it's going to people's feeds. A lot of people today said, hey, this one didn't turn up in my feed. I had to search the China Show. Make sure that that's getting on people's feeds.
We'd appreciate it.
Click like, yeah. I do want to highlight this episode by saying shout out to 250. This is episode 255.
Yep.
So shout out to Tanzania, which is the area code for Tanzania.
My African brothers.
That's right.
Okay, guys, so let's saunter right into it with what's new. This is where we talk about what's new specifically with regards to China. We got a couple of clips for you here. I'd like to ask some of our structural engineer type audience,
or
anyone with common sense. Do you think that it's a good idea to be jackhammering out this column, which kind of looks like it's a important, semi-important support column?
Somebody didn't play Tetris.
I'm just curious.
No, actually, we were not arguing about this. I was devil's advocating. Like, I know this is probably bad, but I do want to throw it, because I'm not a structural expert.
Sure.
I want to ask the community right now, is it a good idea to do this? Is this load-bearing?
Yeah.
Is this a bad thing to cut?
Well, I mean, the fact that the column doesn't go all the way down to the ground underneath it, maybe not be that vital, but it is still part of that slab, that's reinforced. You can see down there, that slab. It's going to be holding it up. But I've always wondered, because when they do this zhuangshou, as they say, which is renovation in apartments, because every time someone buys a new apartment in China, they do this to get rid of the old person's feng shui. They'll jackhammer the floors out, the tiles and everything. They start again. They use these jackhammers, which vibrate the whole building. And to me, that just seems like a bad idea. Like, it's going to introduce stress fractures and cracks and things because it's vibrating the whole thing. So when you're hammering on this, what looks like an outside support column, I feel like it's a bad idea.
Okay, so I'm reading through some of these. Some people say it's fine because the rebar is still there. And some people are saying this is a bad idea.
I feel like...
I knew it. You know what? Let's poll.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Because actually, this is not an important clip. We genuinely wanted to learn from the audience.
Yes. While you put up the poll, I just wanted to show, don't worry, these are not dead people, by the way, that you're seeing on the floor here.
It looks like it, but it's not, yeah.
These are what we call pengzi, okay? So when there's an argument in China, if you pretend to be injured and you lie down on the ground, you can usually win the argument.
On the ground level?
Yes, exactly. They're
not on the 22nd floor?
No, they're not. They're on the ground. What is that thing over here? It's like...
oh, my shakalado.
Oh, my dear shakalado.
Exactly.
What is a shakalado? It's a Shaquille O'Neal milkshake.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so you lie down on the ground, and then, as soon as the police come, then you can pretend like, oh, they hit me and I fell over or whatever.
That's hilarious. And it's near the seafood market.
Yeah, when somebody lies down, then the other person quickly lies down too to pretend like, no, actually, I'm the injured one. And then, it becomes this weird domino effect where suddenly everybody's lying down. You know what I mean?
London Bridge is falling down. Yeah. Look at this. They're playing a game, and they're all old people. I like how she's gone full on. Her face is on the ground.
Yeah.
Like in the fish water.
Yeah, everybody's laughing.
Because that's true. Go back to that. That is a truly disgusting scenario.
Yeah, to be lying in that. But you can hear the crowds. I'll put the volume back. See, they're all laughing about it. Yeah.
Everyone dies. And
Yeah,
everyone's
exactly.
dying. And shit.
Yeah.
You know what I give props to?
Who? What?
Well, as an aquarist.
Oh, yes, yes.
Not an Aquarius, an aquarist. As a fish keeper myself.
Yes.
A lot of times when you go to these wet markets in China, they don't include aeration,
Yes.
which makes the fish die really quickly. But that one had aeration and the fish were dead.
Yes,
You see, they
exactly.
were
I
all
saw that. Yeah,
floating.
yeah, yeah.
So the rebar.
Yeah.
Cutting building, 14% of people out of around 1,000 people said it's safe. 86% of people said it is not safe.
I would err on that side, just from the fact of it just doesn't make sense to be knocking down columns. They're there for a reason.
Sure.
The rebar's there for a reason.
That's a video game, isn't it?
Yeah, true. That's Sega Genesis.
Knockoff of Tetris. Was it a
Yeah,
knockoff?
it's a little different.
Oh, okay.
Gems, you know.
Oh, they're
16-bit
gems.
era, dude.
You know, it's probably a knockoff of that.
What?
What is
Candy
that?
Crush.
Gem? Yeah, one of those gem games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, we keep hearing about this gender disparity in China. There are more men than women, and sometimes it's difficult to visualize that. But this may be anecdotal. This may be like kind of a one small little sample. But this is a kindergarten in China, and they've lined up the boys and girls to pair with each other, right? And if you take a look, this is quite emblematic of what you'll find, especially in the rural China. I
What
mean,
are they at? 50 million surplus men now or something?
Yeah.
And that's like government estimates is probably way more.
it's definitely way more.
And it's because they abort the girls, right?
Yeah.
They want.
Anyway, I mean, when you see a visual representation
Yeah.
like that, it actually wakes you up a little bit.
It
You're like,
does.
wow,
It does.
it's actually quite bad.
That's actually a good point.
So
We actually did a whole video on that, and it was very detailed. It was on ADV China. It was
Yeah.
our motorcycle channel. We did one, and I got super sick when we were filming it. It was very funny.
Oh, yes.
Remember, I got absolutely devastatingly ill.
I remember.
Like I need to get out of here type thing. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And you were like, we got to finish this.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Welcome
This is wild.
to the Xiongan.
Don't play it yet.
Okay.
Don't play it yet.
All right.
Just wanted to show you this. And there's a reason I'm showing you this.
Okay, I'll get a speak. What are you going to show?
This is a $93 billion mega project. And by $93 billion, it is way more than that. That is like Chinese government estimates, right?
Yeah.
This is Xi Jinping's darling child. It's this idea that 60 kilometers away, they're going to make a new Beijing. And then it'll alleviate the traffic and the congestion and stuff in Beijing, right? So Wall Street Journal put out this very good video where they actually sent someone there to like walk around, which is great journalism to actually get someone with the boots down there and like peace out after
On the ground.
on the ground,
Yeah.
on the ground level,
Yes,
not
exactly.
on the 22nd floor.
Yep.
And so they show that it's just barren. It's completely barren, right? There's nothing there.
Yes.
And so they have all these things. Typical China, typical CCP. It's going to do this. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. It's going to have capacity for 100 billion people a day to travel on the high-speed road. You know,
Yeah,
all those
typical.
claims, right? It's going to house 10 million people, right? That stuff. It is a proper, not just a ghost town, but it's a ghost city, right? The biggest issue with this is that you can say, oh, good, mega projects, mega structures, China planning for the future, right? There's two big caveats here.
Okay.
Number one, it's not going to be done for 32 years.
Yeah.
That's not like everyone's like China builds stuff so fast. You built a city in 32 years? Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
That's not impressive. I'm
Nope.
sorry. Number two, it's in one of the worst floodplains in China. In fact, it
Yes.
is flooded multiple times and everything is turning moldy and derelict.
Yes.
And we have visited places that were only 3 years, like investment properties,
Yeah.
3 years old, and we'd walk around and we can crumble the buildings with our hands. In fact,
Yes.
it was one of our last videos we ever made on ADV China in China.
That's right.
So we know how this goes down. Like
Yeah.
they'll have these grand plans, and let's just put it to you this way: if you're making a city that's going to be finished in 32 years,
Yeah.
all of these housing buildings, you wouldn't make them now.
No.
It doesn't even make sense because they will fall down. Chinese
Yeah, or they will
quality.
be completely screwed up by the time that 32 years ends.
Right.
Yeah.
So the floods have absolutely devastated before it's been built.
Yeah.
The most important thing here is I went to go watch this video, which got 1 million views, right?
Yeah.
And hold on, leave it there.
Okay.
I want you guys in your spare time to go look at the comments section here,
Okay.
and you will be able to start to become a CCP propaganda expert yourself because you will see what they care about.
Yes.
I almost couldn't, out of 2,000 3,000 comments, I almost couldn't find one negative comment about this mega project. And the
It's all
video is
positive,
clearly
right?
negative. It is going after Wall Street Journal. It's going after the journalists. It's going after, this is CIA or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ghost cities. All
US
the ghost
aid.
cities. All the ghost cities have been filled.
Yeah.
Right? Which is absolute nonsense,
nonsense,
by the
yeah.
way. And it's insane. So what does that prove to you? It proves to you that they really hated this video.
Yes.
They hated this video.
Yeah.
And in fact, we can corroberate it. Like, this is a woman that went to go look at it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
recently.
It's
This is
very
the big train
spook-
station they have.
It's very spooky. isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's still very abandoned and looks derelict.
I just don't think it'll ever be anything.
No, I don't.
But it's important because it was a Xi Jinping project, so that
Yeah.
means it's got massive priority for the propaganda department to make sure they control the narrative around
Yes.
it.
By the way, here's a fun little clip. This is what happens if you refuse to vacate your house when they want to forcefully demolish your house.
Yeah.
The government will hire like people to come, knock it down. And those people that they hired will throw stones and bricks at you if you don't get out of your house.
This is shout out to my Red Note people.
Yes, exactly.
China's figured it out. China's figured out their housing problems, and America's doomed.
Yeah, that's obviously like the supervisor over there hanging out. Look at the way he
cops hire
walks.
people to throw rocks.
Yes, they're
at the
throwing-
people who live there.
They're like, dude, don't demolish my house. And they come and they start throwing stones at you. It's like the Middle Age, like a Bible story.
I literally thought of David and Goliath.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like they needed slingshots.
exactly.
You know.
Hugh does not vacate, cast the first stone.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
exactly.
just actually throwing stones at him.
They hired thugs to throw stones.
Yes.
And they're wearing official vests.
Yeah, I mean, they are the people that have been
Yes.
hired.
Yes.
Watch out for China's AI self-driving delivery vehicles, guys.
Yeah, these have been hilarious. There's also been AI cleaners,
Oh, yes.
right? And they are doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like ramming into walls and not picking anything up.
Yeah.
Putting people out of jobs.
Well, I mean, they're giving these people more jobs because it's, you know what I mean?
That's true. It's actually all part of the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's like, let me
WEF, dude.
destroy your newly paved. It didn't pay attention to the cones. It went through the cones onto the wet cement and messed it up.
Yeah, this is wild.
Another quick thing. 5 days ago, a J-15. You could see it up in the top corner there. Sorry, that corner.
Explain what a J-15 is.
It's-
Nobody knows what that is.
It's like the Xinjiang J-15. It's
a plane.
Yeah, it's very similar to a Sukhoi.
Fighter jet.
Yeah, it's a fighter jet. Anyway, bam.
Bam! Greetings and ham.
Bam. Okay, pilots ejected safely.
It's wild, eh? Can we see that again?
Yeah, sure.
It's hard. It was kind of hard to see.
The way it's going down is almost vertical.
Yeah.
Let's take a
Try
look.
to pause it like right when it's like, oh, yeah. See, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. You can see.
Yeah,
it a
you can
little
see
bit.
the whole thing, like, basically. Come on, this cameraman sucks.
Well, I think he was quite shocked.
Yeah,
fighter jet just fell in front
I'm
of
like, hold the shot, dude.
Hold
but,
the shot,
but he's more
bro.
worried about like, oh, I'm gonna die. I get it.
It's true.
All right, you can see the parachute, by the way. You can see it up there in the
Is
top
that the
corner.
Timu 15?
Yes, Timu 15. J-15 fighter. It's during a training exercise down in Hainan. Bam, there's a pilot being taken away by some locals. who
Well, I'm glad
found
he
it.
was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just
That was
curious.
in Hainan, you said.
Yes.
So
Down in
I
Sanya,
think what you mean is the Hawaii of China. as
Yes,
they
down
call
in
it.
the Hawaii of China. By the way, I don't know if Hawaii looks like this, but you know what I mean. This is the Hawaii of China.
planes.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you guys click like?
Yes.
Not for the plane crash.
No, of
like
course
it
not.
because you like the stream. Get some more eyes on it. We got a big, amazing, insane expose.
Yeah,
coming
you
up.
just
Not even joking.
You know, we're building up. We're building up to this
It's
because
weird.
it's
That's why we're kind of rushing right now.
Yeah.
We've become Russians. We're rushing
yes,
through
we're
this.
rushing through it.
Shout out to our allies.
Yeah.
As we rush through this content, it's not that this isn't important. It's just I cannot believe how important it is later.
Yes. Now we're cutting back to this phenomenon. You know, in China, they love to film themselves in their own living rooms. Yeah, you can see the date down there. This was like 5 days ago as well. 6 days ago.
It's so weird.
It is weird.
It's weird.
It's weird to be always recording your living room.
It's not just living rooms. They do their bedrooms.
Yeah, I
too.
know. I'd feel a bit uncomfortable because that stuff's connected to the internet.
I know. Stop doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, at first this looks very strange, almost fake. Okay, let's take a look. All right.
Wow. I like how it does that ring.
Yeah.
I burning ring of fire.
Okay.
That was a
Dianbao.
Dianbao. What do you call that? I know. I'm trying.
Battery
to think of English.
bank.
Battery bank.
You know, everybody
Power
has
bank,
a power bank. Yeah, sorry, power bank. You know those things.
I don't think they're a thing as much anymore.
You don't think so?
No, because remember they were kind of big because phones sucked. Like the phone batteries used to be, you get like 3 hours out of your phone.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, on like iPhones and stuff, you get so much time out of your.
It's true.
Your phone's not gonna die in one day.
I haven't seen them as much.
Yeah.
You're right. But, you know, they're still a big thing in China.
Sure.
That's because people are addicted to their phones. Their phones are
Yes.
used 24/7.
And they're on shit and like
Yeah.
shit cheap Android, like
Yeah.
Chinese brand Android.
Even if they're on a good one, they still
Yeah,
want to keep
true.
it topped up. So, anyway, somebody's put their battery bank on the table there. And lithium-ion batteries, let's see. Bam. Okay. So, very scary. Always make sure if you're buying battery banks or any lithium-ion battery products, try to get a name brand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, last time we bought them from Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just because we know they have good QC.
If you have to, I mean, unfortunately, it's very difficult to avoid Chinese products
Yeah.
when it comes to these kinds of
try.
things.
Just try.
But at the very least, make sure that the batteries are like LG batteries.
Yeah,
or,
the actual thing
Panasonic,
inside.
or
Yeah.
they're from an actual country that cares about quality controls. What I'm saying. Otherwise, you end up like this. Because China sells the weirdest battery packs.
Watch
right?
this.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Yeah, so we've got an example. But remember, you could buy like really like highly rated, like crazy huge ones.
Yeah,
and
for a
weird
while,
ones.
right?
Yeah, that were like in weird shapes. Remember, I bought that like floppy
Yeah.
disk looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't buy Chinese stuff if you can avoid it.
Oh yeah, just
Chinese
from a
brands.
safety
Yeah.
point of view. You don't want this in your house and your kids sitting at the table or something. Anyway, just to give you an example of why this kind of thing happens.
Don't touch it. Just don't touch it. You gotta let it burn out.
Yeah, I mean at the
'Cause
very
no, I mean it's
Yeah.
making it worse. You're spreading. There was like
no, they got it.
they got it. They
Yeah,
got
you know the lithium-ion battery. Once it's run its course, it's done. But when
Yeah.
and what are you looking at? This is look at this PDN.
It looks like someone put a phone on top of something.
Yeah, but it's not. This is a battery bank that's supposed to be 30,000 milliamp hours. Okay, now
Yeah.
your average one is about 10,000.
Yes.
Okay, I'd say that's a pretty decent one is 10,000. So 30,000, now you're getting into the big leagues here. Now what's happened is the battery has gone Baola, as they say. So the battery is basically expanded. I wouldn't be playing with this if I were her. I would be getting rid of that thing.
You would put that outside and leave it there.
You know, when you see
Yeah.
the battery go like that,
Don't touch that.
don't go
Not a
near
good
it.
idea.
You know, a friend of mine told me a very interesting trick when it comes to batteries. You know, like an older phone or something where you could take the battery out, but also cameras and things, you could still take the battery out. If you put it down on the table and you try to spin it, if it spins around, it's
bad.
It's bad. Get rid of it.
You taught me that.
Yeah, and it works. It's
It
real.
does. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
So anyway, she's like, "Oh, look at this battery bank that I bought.
This is so
it like popped.
scary.
It basically popped open,
Right.
Because the battery inside went Baola.
But this gets so much better.
Yeah. So she's like, well, let's see what's inside. So she takes out the battery. She's already disconnected it. She's like, I mean, dude,
It's still scary.
yeah, I don't
It's a big
like
slab
this.
of lithium.
Yeah, and it's like all kind of, I just don't, just put that away. She's like, okay, but that's actually a small battery.
Yeah, that's probably a 8,000.
Yeah, 8 to 10,000, who knows? This is supposed to be 30,000 milliamp hours. So then she's like, you can see the circuit board is here.
Yeah.
And then there's something like shrink wrapped underneath the circuit board.
She's
So you're
like,
like,
what's this?
yeah, you're thinking, oh, maybe more batteries or something, right?
Yeah, let's check out this Chinese product.
Yeah. So she's
Got her
like,
open.
okay, let's cut this thing open.
I can already kind of see. No drug smuggling jokes, guys.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, that's the thing. You could smuggle drugs.
You
in this.
could. They probably do, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
They
yeah.
probably
Battery
do.
banks, why not, right?
Why not?
Yeah.
Everyone's puckered up right now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, I mean, she's almost stabbing herself with the scissors, too. She's not very, she shouldn't be making these kinds of videos.
So I think it's a bit of an emergency. It's
Yeah.
not like an influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? This woman's like, what the hell's going on? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like,
die.
what's inside?
I don't think she realizes it's about to blow up.
Yeah, and also that she's almost stabbing herself
too.
and she's going to bleed out and then catch
then
fire.
catch
Yeah,
fire.
I know. Look,
It's
it's
tile.
it's a floor tile.
It's like fake marble.
Yeah, look, two different ones, by the way. So, in order to give it weight, and this we've seen this a lot with Chinese electronics. If you buy something like I remember that guy bought a hard drive off of Taobao, and then what happened was it came in a big hard drive enclosure. What they'd done is they'd taken an SD card and then tricked it into reporting that it was like 5 terabytes or something, and then just put like hot glue and bolts inside that to make it heavy.
Yeah, we've seen them full of sand.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah. So in this case, in order to make it feel like a 30,000 milliamp hour battery, they've added tiles to give it that weight.
Please
Anyway.
click like if you don't want your hand to blow up with the Dianbao. How do you say Dianbao? Power bank.
Yes, power bank.
We have a lot of words in Chinese that we only say in Chinese, like
yeah.
ma fan and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
They don't have a great English equivalent. Power bank sucks compared to Dianbao.
Yeah, Dianbao's better.
Yeah.
Anyway, just now you wonder why these things catch fire and explode is because there's a lot of this crap going around on the market that's completely unregulated because, people buy everything off of Taobao, which is kind of like the Chinese eBay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Okay? And the thing about it is you have no way of knowing about quality control. The only way you can tell is you can read other reviews from other buyers. But it's this weird mafia situation where the sellers, they want good reviews. So, like, if you have a problem, you contact them. You say, hey, what is this crap inside of this Dianbao? You're like, oh, no, that was a mistake. Here, give me a good rating and I'll send you some money or I'll refund you. Or I'll give you something extra.
Don't expose my enterprise.
Dude, I once bought a second-hand phone off of Taobao because a subscriber came to visit, right? And he needed a phone, and so I said, okay, I'll get it for you. I bought one off Taobao. It was missing screws and stuff, so I gave him a mid rating. I didn't give him a bad rating. I was like, gave him like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's good.
And I was like, it was missing some screws and it was rusty or whatever in some places. The guy phoned me, and he's like,
got your number.
He got my number through the app. He phoned me, and he's like, why did you give me a bad review? I'm like, because there were screws missing. He's like, change it now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to change it. He's like, no, you better change it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to change it. And then I hung up on him. But he was really threatening.
Yeah, well, they do death threats. They actually give death threats.
Remember they sent body bags to someone who gave a bad review? So yeah,
China's wild,
you don't know what you're buying off Taobao is what I'm saying. So, if you buy some cheap thing, it could just burn your house down.
And by the way, if you're using those cheap Chinese apps like Shein, Temu, and all that stuff, you're buying the same stuff that people are getting body bags sent to their house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're buying. Those are the sellers, right?
Yeah, you got to be careful. Okay, before we get into our big expose, guys, and the chemical stuff too, we have something we wanted to show you. You may have missed.
It was amazing.
It was so much fun. This is Monday.
What did I tell you to make our background today?
You wanted like some Irish landscape or some garbage like that?
What did you say?
I said, that's not jovial.
You do get better local beers.
Yeah, but you never know what they're made out of, like urine from a pig,
These people are missing eyes.
They're weird.
No, but they're questioning your saying Elijah Wood was a heartthrob. Oh, I don't know if that's any good.
Everyone's having a laugh and a snigger. The guy comes back, starts drinking his piss and coke instead of bringing coke.
This is like flat coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold. Right?
This is not the Crow.
By the way, I just want to say I wore green for St. Patrick's Day.
For those of you who remember. Yeah, so Xiaoban was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this week we did a beer blind taste test. We won't give away the ranking, but we ranked them on the S through F tier, or D tier, and we pitted 3 Chinese popular beers versus 3 American popular beers versus 3 European popular beers, like the biggest macros.
Yeah.
And we blind taste tested them and ranked them, and we don't want to give away the results. We also did a movie trivia thing where we guessed clips of movies.
Yeah, I showed a couple of clips of my favorite movies. He had to guess what they were, and vice versa.
We also told some hilarious stories. It was a long boy. It was a special St. Patrick's episode.
It's a bit self-indulgent. We got pretty drunk.
But it was a good.
It was super fun.
It was a good thing.
Yeah,
I got some great response.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You keep playing here. What you get when you go to Xiaoban, that's our secret show, is on patreon.com/ADV podcast. You go. Can you?
I'll go back.
To show that tier list.
I know you did. I know you did.
There's 3 tiers you can choose from.
Yeah.
There's the lowest one, which will get you access to the Discord, and then remember every Monday we post the China show with the Q&A still in it, and the main show will cut it out on Mondays, so that'll still be up there. Xiaoban is half price right now. It's $10 a month. It will give you access to every episode we've ever done, 135 now.
Yep.
You'll get the St. Patrick's Day episode. You get the Royal Rumbles. You get all the stuff we do. Yep. The exposés, the cult breakdowns, the breakdown of the alcohol
You get everything.
industry,
You just don't watch it live. You get it immediately after it's gone live. We release it to the $10 tiers after we finish the live.
The top tier, $20 a month tier, you'll get to watch it live. And you'll get to be part of the Wheel of Fortune, which we'll handwrite Chinese name to give to you if you win the wheel. It's like the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
we call it the Wheel of Fortune, which is a city in China. Probably the dumbest thing we've ever come up with, but the game is fun.
Yeah.
We also, you vote on and choose the next topic, by the way, fully democratic.
Yeah, and they vote clips.
The next episode coming up is it van life?
Yes,
Yeah,
fake van
van
life.
life, which is a phenomenon taking off in China now. You know, van life in America, it's only hitting China now, and it's wild. It is so weird what's
It's
happening.
very weird and very fake.
Yes. So if you go and click here, just to show you the feed, what you'll get if you subscribe. We did absurd game shows, which are actually pretty racy, to be honest. It's pretty degenerate. We did Chinese foods you'd never heard of. Some absolute insanity on that one. What China really looks like. We take you on street views.
Kind of like last time when we went to that
Yes.
beautiful fishing village and we showed you what it really looks like.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
China's sloth trend of living in internet cafes. China's trying to promote living like horribly poor. Stupidest travel video. We found a shill video, which is going to kill you if you
Yeah.
follow their advice.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing at Lianhua Qingwen, the COVID medicine. Fake Russian epidemic. All the fake Russian stores in China. Russians exposing them. Royal Rumble. We got all kinds of amazing content up there. If you like the China show, you're going to love this.
Yes.
Just put it to you that way.
Yeah.
It is not only that's the best way to support us as well.
I agree. It'd be lovely to see you over there on Monday, guys. It's
Yes.
just so much fun.
Yes.
Favorite part of the week.
Yeah, if we don't have to do ads, we can just do this. This is
Yeah.
the best way to support us.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So go check it out. We really would appreciate your help.
Yeah, please head on over to patreon.com/ADV podcast. If you have the means, of course, please join us. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, especially during the sale.
Yeah. So, what do you say we continue with the show?
Let's do it. This is the big one, eh? Is this the big one?
I think we got to get the chemical zone out of the way
That's
first.
the main topic. It's actually not.
No,
It's
that
the
was
thumbnail.
it was an important topic, and it is an important topic which
Yes.
we're going to cover. But of course, the main topic is this big expose that's coming up. So, Soft
Yes.
Power Hour, where we tell you how China's trying to change your mind, specifically this time around. Now, what's happening here?
Let's have a look. I mean, this is wild, right? Look at this. These are, oh my dear shakalado. That
Yeah.
is a purple cloud. And what is this? Can you take a wild guess, Winston? Pause that. Some people, you know what? Some people, some of you guys were being real douches.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why you're being douches.
Why?
They were like, oh, nice AI. I was like, just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. You'll see the clip. Oh, you're changing the hue. We didn't touch the hue.
No, not at all.
There ain't no hue change.
No.
This is stock hue.
Yeah.
This is a, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? What if you know? What if you didn't know? What would you guess?
A bad chemical.
Oh, okay, like Chemical Zone, like dan.
Yeah,
dan,
exactly.
Dan, 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 dan.
When
Or-
I see purple smoke, I'm like, I don't want to breathe that. I just don't want to breathe it.
I was gonna say some sort of gender reveal party. What gender would that be? I'm not sure because it's not pink or blue. It's in
Yeah.
the middle,
Yeah.
so it could be some sort of hybrid.
I would be
Yeah, we
just
won't
get
into
away.
that, but yeah.
Yeah.
You'd get away from that, and you would be wise to do that. Do you know why?
Why?
Well, we're not going to show the people dying, but a lot of people died.
Yeah, people died.
There's a reason people died. They were eating their insides. This smoke, this purple smoke, was eating their insides. As you saw in the thumbnail, it's eating their insides.
Yep.
It literally did. This purple smoke caused absolute insane upper and lower respiratory damage and wiped people out.
Yep.
First, before they covered up the story, they said, oh, 4 people. The people local there,
Were
they were
like,
like, no. It was lots of people.
As usual.
Yeah.
Big cover up because the Chinese official truth, the truth from the government is always a lie because they have to make it look less severe than it really is every time.
Because there's no coverage, I had to do some deep dive.
The fact that they even admitted there were deaths is kind of crazy because usually they just...
They did it right away. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like a super local thing. And do you know who admitted the deaths? The rescue workers to the government interview thing.
Yeah.
And then it was wiped, right?
Yeah.
So because it was pulled, because it doesn't exist anywhere anymore, even though it's just happened,
Yeah.
I started to do a deep dive. Okay?
Right.
And I was trying to figure out, well, I'm not a great chemist or anything, but I did okay in chemistry. I was trying to figure out what sort of chemical composition would make like a purple smoke.
Yeah.
And the thing that kept coming up was this nitrogen triiodide, right? It's
Yes.
a insane explosive. But the problem I had with this was there is no practical use for this chemical.
Yeah.
It's not in anything, right? In fact, if you just touch it, it will explode. It turns out it looks like, and you guys can help out, this can be interactive, but it looks like it's probably iodine. And went to this classroom chemistry experiment thing. Iodine, when mixed with aluminum in particular, will turn into purple smoke.
Yeah.
Which would make a lot of sense that this would be iodine. And I'll tell you why. Go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Where this happened, and I figured this out from the footage,
Yeah.
I was able to hone in on this.
Stuff is in a league of
This. Oh, by the way, look at this.
Okay,
this is the first thing.
The nitrogen triadide.
Just
its
look at
own.
this.
Even something like a mosquito landing on it will set it off.
This is why it's not that.
yeah.
He literally tapped.
Just
it.
tapped it and it explodes.
Watch for the balloon. Like it's not that. Okay.
Okay.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
That would be cataclysmic. So, from the footage, I was able to kind of hone in on where this was.
Figure out what the factory was. Isn't it amazing how their website makes the sky look so blue?
It does. They picked the most wonderful day. It's a biochemical facility.
Okay, so hang on. That's fantasy versus reality.
Reality, yeah.
Look at that. Like it's never mind the purple, plume of smoke. The actual sky surrounding that is not very nice and blue.
Yes.
But again, that's China's misinformation for you.
Yes. We need Nile Red to investigate. You ever watch Nile Red?
No.
He's such an amazing channel. He's like a chemistry dude.
Oh, okay.
He does lots of crazy experiments, and he does chemistry experiments like we would if we were chemists, just like
nice.
with reckless abandon.
Oh, good stuff.
It's amazing. Anyway, so I found out this biochemical facility, right? Mm-hmm. And I found out 3 categories of chemicals they make, right? So this is what they publicly have, and I figured I'd show you guys because you might be able to figure out which one of these would make the purple smoke.
Yes.
Could be like a little investigation, the China show investigation. You tell us what this was because there's a lot of people that died. They're covering it up. The people have no recourse to reach out because you will go to jail.
Yes.
Right, if you speak out against this. So what was this? I mean, they sell yeast and L-carnitine, and they have animal health, by the way, which I think is probably animal testing.
Oh yeah, I'm
or
pretty
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe some sort of growth thing.
Yeah.
So these are all the chemicals that they offer on the website because the website's still up.
You know what I think happened is you see all these different chemicals here? I think they just mixed them into one area and created purple smoke.
You think so?
I think so.
It's like everything together.
Yeah,
I think a chemistry person would be able to tell just by looking at this.
Someone just like tripped over a barrel and went whoops and went into
Paul Sengen says iodine solid when heated gives out purple gas. And that's why I think it's a biochemical place. China still uses iodine like widely for antiseptic, whereas like most of the West has kind of abandoned it. So it could be iodine. It could just be iodine, but it's very dangerous because it killed people.
Yeah.
Just from inhalation.
Yeah. This has happened before. This is from a different factory a couple of years ago.
We wanted to show you this is not it's not an unknown phenomenon.
Yeah, to have purple smoke coming out of random factories in China.
It's pretty wild. And it's weird that it happens pretty,
well, the fact that there are multiple examples of it means it does happen more than once or more than 3 times anyway.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's multiple times.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy to be living in a place where there's purple smoke coming out of a factory.
Yes. Anyway, if you guys figure it out, any experts out there, we tend to get experts reach out. We'll do a follow-up.
Absolutely. We'd love to.
Give you credit.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a Beyond the Great Firewall very quickly for you before we hit our main thing.
Yeah, super quick. This one's some tofu drag. You guys like tofu drag bad building quality? Look at this. What does it say?
It says, call me and tell me. There's a leak in my home. Damn it, go home and take a look. Is this a leak? The sky is falling apart. Isn't the sky falling apart? Then why is the shed cracked? Oh my God.
Dear Shakalada.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a bollard.
We have a bollard report.
Bollard.
So today's bollard report, and by the way, for those of you that don't know, if you've not been paying attention, China's been putting up all these bollards, which are kind of these parking obstructions. The reason is Chinese cars have been going errant and people have going on murder sprees.
Yeah.
I don't want to get dark, but killing 30, 40, 80 people at a time.
It's been quite crazy. It's these revenge against society attacks.
Yeah.
And because there's so many people in China, there are always a lot of pedestrians on the road. And so when people have mental breakdowns, which happens a lot in modern Chinese society.
Because there's no like therapy or anything.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just no recourse because you can't. There's no rule of law. Like you can't go to the government with your grievances because they won't listen to you. So people just snap. And so they take their frustrations out on innocent people. And what they do is they usually drive their cars into crowds of people. So outside of schools, outside of like crowded places, you'll see a lot of bollards have been put up. And as you can see over here, we've got bollards.
They're everywhere now.
Now, what's happening in this particular clip is kind of sinister. You've got a rideshare guy, so think of like an Uber driver.
It's like an Uber, Chinese Uber.
Yeah. If you ever want to find out how Chinese unfair business practices are, you can take a look at what happened to Uber.
Yes, we did a video
Yeah,
on that.
open it up in China. They got the whole idea of going. Everybody got used to it. Was taking Uber. Didi comes in. They ban Uber so Didi can take over, and then just it kind of went from there.
That's why you never do business in China.
No. Anyway, so Didi is the Chinese Uber knockoff.
Yes.
And what's happened here is this guy's an Uber driver, and these taxis are like, F that, you're not taking our business. And so they surrounded him and they've blocked him in.
Yes.
They're like, we're not going to allow you to pick up a customer because you're taking business away from us. So now the whole point of the bollard report is to show you how weak and useless these bollards are, because look at the guys literally just picking these up and moving them by hand.
Man, this taxi is like taxi gang's a mafia. Look at that.
Yeah. See,
This poor rideshare
he's
guy.
moving the bollard so he can try to get out. Look, they just push it back. Look how light it is.
Because they're trying to F him up.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not an effective bollard. I'm sorry.
No, that's not going to stop.
No, they've just...
In fact, it's going to become a projectile. And
Exactly.
what the hell is that guy wearing on his head? Oh, my dear Shakalado. What is that?
It's like a... I have no
Is that
idea.
like How to Train Your Dragon or
I
something?
think you're right. I think that's what
You
it
think
is.
so?
Yeah. See how he's just rolling the bollard out the way because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, I
You're
got to get
blocking
my
it.
car out of... Oh, I'm blocked. No, I'm not. That side.
No, I mean, you're blocking the one that they're... Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, on the other side, I can see it.
Yeah.
Like,
Those are not effective bollards. In fact, we found a lot of them are actually hollow.
yes.
Right?
Yeah, he's trying to move the bollard so that he can drive out of this trap they've made for him.
That sucks. Imagine being trapped by all these taxi drivers.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
exactly. He's so exasperated, he put his windscreen wipers on.
Can you give us an Oh My Dear Shakalado?
Yeah, okay.
Kind of a Shakalado moment.
You think this is a chocolate
It
moment?
is, it is.
Okay, I'll
It's
get
kinda
one.
like, dang.
Oh my dear Shakalado.
You know?
Definitely. Okay, so that's this week's
that
bollard
guy's
report.
helmet is ridiculous.
Yep. Oh, he's gonna hit the bollard.
The car probably won't let him.
Yeah, it's probably got like avoidance.
We drive old cars, so we don't know this, but
Yeah.
when we have driven newer cars, we're like, this avoidance stuff is nuts. He was like
not-
trying to
yeah.
go over a curb and it won't let you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, okay, move this bollard, and they're like, no.
It's very light, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you could just move it like that means it's not gonna stop a car.
No, but that's like an emergency bollard. You see how they have the tape on it? Those are the new additions.
Yeah.
You know, the big top-down government project. Get bollards everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's your bollard report.
Yeah, it's dragging on a little bit, just like he's dragging those bollards all over the
Just like
place.
he's dragging in that helmet. How to train his helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
Dumbest helmet I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen worse.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This
That's
look
a
at this
lucky
old
concurrent viewer.
Yeah,
By the way.
good. Look at this old dude just picking up the bollard and just taking it back. That's not a heavy bollard if that old dude can just lift it up.
No.
Yeah.
Please click like if you would not do that.
Yes.
If you would not trap a poor guy in and then bully him with a group of people.
Yeah. Now, guys, today Slopaganda is going to be a massive
This is a big one.
expose. All right.
This was teamwork.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
serious teamwork on
Teamwork
this one.
on this one. Okay, so we're going to start out a little bit, then I'm going to explain something.
Then we'll do my part. Yeah.
I got to put the volume up for this. Okay. All right, guys, watch this. This, if you've watched my video recently on the Serpent ZA channel, and also you mentioned this on your
I
channel,
did, yeah.
we got this ad being posted on our videos. You know, China Fact Chasers is our other channel. It's our clips channel. So I searched China Fact Chasers. It came up with this.
What does it say?
It says, since you searched for China Fact Chasers, I almost said finer check faces. Sorry, guys. I got a bit of a cold. I've taken some cold medicine. Okay, this came up. Real or fake, the most stunning place in China. Now, this is one of those...
Sponsored.
Yeah, it's sponsored, okay? This is one of those absolutely BS, fluff pieces about China where it's like, China's so great, America sucks.
More importantly, just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
this means someone took out an ad campaign on our channel.
Someone paid for ads to pop up when you search our channel.
China Fact Chasers.
Yes.
In an effort to say, oh, they're watching that? Let's watch this instead.
Now, don't worry, this is not a repeat if you've seen my video. This is an evolution. Something has
big
changed. A big evolution. Okay, so take a look.
来中国看中国，讲讲中国故事，
Xinjiang.
讲好中国故事。
讲讲中国故事。
Okay,
That's not good.
so, yeah, we're going to get to
We'll
that
explain why.
in a second. But I showed that this guy had put out a thing about Xinjiang where he goes and he's like, look at the Muslim religion they're allowed to practice. And he showed a shopping mall that just had like those minarets on top or whatever, as if it was a religious place. After my video came out, he removed that video.
Interesting.
Because he had one. It's like how I've still got it, but it's like how Muslims live in China or something.
Veiled genocide denial.
It's not even veiled. It's
I'm
literally
saying, it's veiled.
It's
and
literally
that'll
like,
be relevant later. By the way, veiled.
Exactly. It's very. He literally goes to the tourist sites in Xinjiang, like the Urumqi Grand Bazaar, and he's like, "Look at how they have freedom of religion and all that stuff. Here they're happy and dancing." And that's what we call genocide denial propaganda. He obviously got alerted to my video. I didn't specifically I don't stand for brigading. I didn't tell people to go do anything. No. But I guess some people left comments. So he deleted the video off of his channel, which, I mean, good on him for doing that, number one. Number two, it shows that he knows he did something wrong. Okay? And then he did something else sneaky.
This is where it gets very
He
nasty.
did
And this
something
is what
very sneaky.
alerted us.
Yeah. So you saw that part where it says 讲好中国故事, which is Xi Jinping propaganda. We'll get into that in a minute. Well, that was at the front of this video down here, which is living with a Uyghur family, okay, in Xinjiang, China, okay, a Uyghur Muslim family. So if I click on it now, okay, living with a Uyghur Muslim family in Xinjiang, China. Look, it just comes up Xinjiang, China. I was like, hang on a second.
Something's missing.
Something's different. So I pull up the original video, which I downloaded, right?
Okay.
Here it is. You can see it's got the same title, Living with a Uyghur Muslim Family in China. Sorry, mate, I downloaded these because I had to edit my video. So, sorry about that. Okay, so let's take a look. It's 2442, but the one on his channel is now 2438 or something. He's deleted a little section here. Okay, if we look at the original, in the beginning, he says...
来中国看中国讲讲中国故事
Xinjiang, a place
Okay, now his YouTube video that he's now edited. If I scroll all the way back to the beginning.
Xinjiang, a place rich in culture and deep.
来中国看中国讲讲中国故事
Xinjiang,
Okay, so he deleted that little speech in Chinese that he did at the beginning. Why did he delete that?
So I'm a bit of an expert on this.
Yes, please.
Because this directly affects us. The Xi Jinping regime, the leader of China right now, has made one of the backbones of their entire rule to do this campaign called Telling China's Story Well, which is literally 讲好中国故事, which is what he said in his video.
Yes.
Okay? It's a direct quote from Xi Jinping, in fact. Now, why is that bad? Well, this isn't about tourism, guys.
Yes.
It's one branch of that. What this is a multi-billion-dollar campaign from the CCP for malign foreign influence on America and the West in general. Actually, the whole world, to be honest. But in general, the West, right? To repaint and whitewash all of China's human rights abuses.
Yes.
To make sure nobody understands the bad things China does, to hide them, and then repaint them with some sort of beautiful utopian picture, right? Multi-billion-dollar
Yeah, it's a multi-billion dollars. You know, they keep saying like, oh, America has a $1.6 billion.
Yes.
China's got a multi-billion dollar campaign.
Also, American doesn't have that to do that. That's not how that worked.
No. You see this article's from more than 6 years ago.
Yes. So this Tell China's Story Well actually
It's been going on for a long time.
Started in 2013.
Yeah.
It has ramped up to become one of the most important features of the Chinese government, something that we find disgusting, and I'll tell you why. A huge part of that is what you're about to see, and that is genocide denial, to say that they did not imprison, force labor, and re-educate in concentration camps millions of Uyghurs.
Yes.
Okay. This is something that's really made China look bad, the CCP look bad, because they did in modern day pulled a Hitler's Germany.
Yeah.
Right. And it's ongoing. Right. In fact, many people have given up their lives and freedom to expose this. It has been proven without a doubt to at least exist. Right.
Oh, even the Chinese government admits it exists, but they called it re-education.
We'll see that in a second. Now, when you do some of this Tell China's Story Well propaganda, it's usually veiled, right? Like it's like, okay, I happen to be here and I'm on this tour. Oh, look, there's no genocide here. They try to like kind of paint it. With this guy and his wife, their video, the one that had an ad on our channel.
Yes.
They said the quote. They said 讲好中国, well, he says 讲讲中国故事, right? They say the CCP quote and then
he actually
do the bad thing.
he quoted Xi Jinping, who said, 来中国, kan 中国, 讲好中国故事.
And he doesn't speak Chinese.
No, obviously not. His
Right.
pronunciation is horrible. But the thing is, he said, 来中国, kan 中国. He said, 讲中国故事.
Yes.
Same thing. He copied verbatim what Xi Jinping said.
Right.
Okay, because he's obviously, it's part of this. This tell a China story well is something that's really big. It's massive propaganda.
It's bad.
Okay, so you know the video that he removed where he was saying like, oh, they've got their religious freedom type thing? In that, he also did some very boring Belt and Road Initiative type infrastructure propaganda.
Also propaganda.
Yeah, where it's like, they're building this thing for trade, blah, blah, blah. And then his wife's like, and the interesting thing is it's going to be done by 2030. And he's like,
That's
ooh,
interesting.
that's definitely the interesting part. Anyway,
That's not a script.
yeah. Let's move on because it gets worse.
Much
Because
worse.
this is the video that he didn't take down. This is the video that he left up, but he removed the 讲好中国故事 part from the beginning.
Very interesting they would get rid of that.
Yes. I'd like you to pay attention. I've just paused. This is kind of interesting. So he goes to stay with a Uyghur family. But this is not a Uyghur family. This is like a residential hotel type thing they've got set up next to this theme park.
It's a CCP North Korea style theme park.
Can you see all the cameras in the background, by the way?
Oh, they have minders everywhere.
Because this is actually, as you'll see later, part of a big propaganda like tour where they've got the whole like state medias with them, but they're pretending like they're just travel
travel
vloggers.
vlogs,
Oh,
yeah.
we're just travel vloggers.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can see the cameras in the background there, right? Now they go to a Uyghur's house, supposedly, but it's not actually.
Let's give this a taste.
See the woman in the background with all the microphone
Really good.
and stuff.
This is called genocide denial propaganda.
Yeah. This is like, let's go to this.
Token Uyghur household the CCP has delegated
Yes,
to
they've
show
set it up.
people that there's no genocide. Right? And you're participating in this.
It's literally like a Disney setup. You know, it's
Yes.
like it's a small world after all, except it's a Uyghur world after all.
It's like what you said. It's like going to a village set up by the Nazis,
Yeah.
right? And you go to that village and everything is idyllic, and right next to it, there's concentration camps.
Yeah, but you just don't talk about the
You don't talk
concentration
about that part.
camps. Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so he does
This is the
crap.
this is the raw Xinjiang right here. I just love it. This is just so real China. This is the raw China right here. Beautiful vegetable garden.
It's literally not the real China. It's a Potemkin village set up by one of the most nefarious branches of the entire Chinese government.
Yes.
And you're participating in it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this really pisses me off.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
this is serving a purpose of deleting the identities of millions of people.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's also quite telling that he's constantly, this is the real Xinjiang, this is the
Yes.
real China, this is the real Xinjiang.
No, it's not. It's quite
Over
literally not.
And over. This is, you're in Disneyland, by the way. That is not a beautiful vegetable garden.
Don't
Dude,
lie, bro.
you're from Australia. You know what what a beautiful vegetable garden looks like. That's not it. Okay, liar. So you lie on every aspect, apparently. Anyway, let's see. This is, now you see what he did here.
This is bad.
He's walking around in this homestay thing at the back, and he's looking at their beautiful vegetable garden and their chickens and geese and stuff. And he puts this little blurb in the bottom of his video. Fun fact, by the way, how fun is this fact? Does it make you happy and jovial? It's so fun.
Actually pisses me off.
He says Uyghurs, which he spelt wrong, and Tibetans have
Well,
more.
there's two spellings, but that's fine.
Okay, have more land than the Han Chinese, as they primarily live in the vast resource-rich regions of Xinjiang and Tibet. Because of this, they are sometimes richer.
I have spoken to CCP officials. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is their verbatim line that
Yeah.
they say about the minorities, how the minorities that they persecute and don't let leave China and
Yeah.
make them live in these concentration camps.
Yeah.
That this is why they're actually better off than Han Chinese.
Yeah. Now, you see, why would you put this fun fact?
This is straight CCP propaganda.
Yeah, unless you were told to.
That's you would never come to that conclusion
What
yourself.
kind of a random like travel vlogger? I'm going to go stay with some Uyghurs. By the way, did you know that most Uyghurs actually, you know, they could be richer than the Han because they have
a
more
vast,
land?
It's a vast lie, by the way.
Yeah, of course it is. Okay, let's see what else this guy has to say. Is all his wisdom.
This gets so much worse.
Of course, you got to have the couch that's sitting outside. It wouldn't be Uyghur without that.
What are you talking about? That's a China thing.
Is that a traditional Uyghur couch?
That's a China thing. It's nothing to do with Uyghurs.
This guy doesn't actually know anything about Uyghurs. He's literally
Didn't bother to learn shit.
No, exactly. This is real China. You're walking around in a set-up little
Learning unfun
tourism
facts.
village. Yeah, exactly. Not fun facts, dumb facts. Okay.
Picked, eaten. So fresh. So beautiful. So fresh. But spend another day with us.
Yeah, I gotta say, bro. Like, I guess your mom never told you not to chew with your mouth closed.
Really not.
Yeah. His whole apple thing is he like picked one off the tree to say like, oh, they grow their own stuff here. It's pretty sorry looking apple.
Yeah, it is. And it has nothing to do with Xinjiang.
No, of course not.
Stop.
So let's continue here because now he's going to show the traditional culture, right?
Let's see.
Okay, I'll just rewind so you can hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Okay, sorry, no, I'm sorry about that. You know, I sometimes throw these in there.
But spend another day with us here in the province of Xinjiang, exploring the rural and local vibes and the authentic culture.
The authentic culture
Of this amazing province.
Okay, so we're going to explore the authentic culture of this amazing.
By the way,
Province.
the fact that they keep throwing in province is very telling because Xinjiang is stolen land.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's literally the Chinese government stole it from the Uyghur people. It's part of Central Asia, not China.
Yeah, so wait, remember, authentic culture.
Yes.
When you think of authentic culture, I wonder if this is what you had
Here in
mind.
China.
They have already started dancing there.
They've already started dancing, so let's go
see.
and see it.
Is that authentic
Gosh.
culture?
It's like going to Pyongyang and seeing the traffic girl, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, look, these streets are usually busy.
Can
You
I
know, they're
can
like,
I
"Cue the
point
cars."
a few things out here first? Number one, in the background you've got the Piaotai, the
Yes.
place to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So this is a theme park.
Yes.
It's like going to Disneyland, quite literally. You can see
Except
the turnstiles.
to erase genocide.
Yeah, can you see the turnstiles over there where
This
you
is
go
authentic
in?
culture.
This is the authentic. You're literally going to Disneyland and you're seeing Mickey and Minnie Mouse on the outside.
It's worse than that because it's a CCP. It's a central government communist Potemkin village to erase something bad they're doing.
Yeah, and they're
It's
wearing
worse.
like really cheap rubbish Taobao costumes.
Yes.
It's not traditional at all. Okay, it is literally a tourist place, and we found out because we can read Chinese. So they've got. Can you notice all the tourists there with their cameras and stuff?
Yeah, I can see on the right. This is no vloggers are doing this.
Yeah. Ooh. So let's look it up.
So we go, oh, what a freaking surprise! It's literally like a culture village, a culture park.
Yeah, we can find it here on the CCP website.
Yes.
It is really ridiculous. It's a folklore park.
Kanarjing Folklore
Yeah.
Park.
And what does it say?
It was set up by the CCP in Turpan, right?
Yes,
There's
that's
the
right.
coordinates, right? The most important thing is they have all this like dance and leisure and all this stuff, basically to whitewash, what China did in the region /
Yeah.
is doing in the region. Anyway, keep going here. It's interesting. It was actually the way it was set up is quite fascinating.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to point out that it's got Kanarjang Museum. It's got a museum with some little artifacts in it. It's ethnic song and dance restaurants, residential hotels, vineyards, and shopping malls. So it's got everything, right? It's where they're staying. Okay, so let's see. Folk Street, residential hotel, vineyard. It integrates Kanarjing with a long history and courtyard-style residential hotel with national
we
characteristics.
get the idea. Let's move on.
etc., about the Uyghur ethnic
Gotta
this
get
and
to
that.
the good stuff.
So it's like a horrible thing where they try to show off that, oh, it's all fine. But yeah, what is it?
It has been successfully rated as a military civilian co-construction unit. So the
Yes.
PLA put this together. It's straight government.
It is, of course. It's a government thing to showcase Uyghur ethnic culture or minority culture, but it's tacky. As you can see, it's not authentic culture. It's actually just a horrible whitewashing of what their real culture is.
Continue.
Yeah, okay. I will. I'm continuing. Let's hit it.
That's not the important part.
No,
The
we,
important part's
yeah,
coming.
the important part's coming up, for sure.
We stumbled across some nasty stuff.
So fresh. So beautiful.
This guy and his apple. I'm sorry. Okay, so you can see, this is just tourist garbage.
Yes.
Okay, this is not authentic culture. Where do they go next?
We are at...
Urumqi International Land Port Area.
That's right. So today we are in Urumqi, and we are not doing the traditional thing of what most YouTubers do here in Urumqi, here in Xinjiang. Today we're going to exploring something a little bit different. That's right. Today we are at a...
It's called Urumqi, and they couldn't even know how to say your room key.
Yeah, your room key. Here's your room key, sir.
Anyway, continue.
I would like to point out what you're seeing in the background here are government state media people with their microphones and cameras and tripods and stuff.
What are you talking about? This is just a travel vlog to the Xinjiang Urumqi new
land
port area.
Yeah, because that's natural. You know, when I go traveling, that's what I do. Is first of all, I go find the nice local dish, and the next thing I'm at the big, I don't know, Belt and Road Initiative project.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
Land port. You might be thinking, what is a land port? I know about shipping containers. Okay, so as you can see from this map here, you can see how all of the different routes from Urumqi go all over the world, all the way into Europe. That's right, China's Belt and Road Initiative has really set up massive infrastructure.
Oh boy. So it wasn't a travel vlog, was it at all?
Yeah.
Because I can see his camera in the shot on state media here.
Because here's state media taking a picture of him making his vlog.
It's China Daily, in fact.
And it's not only that, it's a date with China, which we'll get into in a minute.
That gets very interesting.
So as you can see up there, it's Idailu, which is the Belt and Road. So this is Belt and Road Initiative propaganda. So his
tick.
By the way, so I think you guys are starting to maybe understand that this guy's trip through Xinjiang is being paid for by the government.
Well, I think there's some proof to that.
Yeah, and the fact is, it's being organized by the Chinese government.
For propaganda.
Yes, of course. They're setting him up. They're taking him to all these different places. This Uyghur customs folk town nonsense.
Yeah.
Here he is appearing in official state media. You can see photos of him from the state media because they obviously shot their own videos to use for propaganda. It's not a good look, bro. That's not cool. Like, you know, travel vloggers, they're always like, oh, here I'm at the beach. Here I am, and let's do a pirouette in front of Belt and Road.
In front of Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative, Uyghur genocide denial.
Welcome to Urumqi International Land Port Area. Woo, we're having so much fun. Aren't you jealous? Seriously, it's so immoral.
So I have to say, this is a super rare experience to be able to film Chinese government workers working with their screens, with their paperwork in a government facility.
Why? Why is that super interesting? That is literally the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life.
I filmed at the PSP before.
Yeah, but it's literally the most boring thing.
Oh, I filmed them with their screens and their paperwork.
Cool, dude.
Good job.
Good stuff.
What is he doing here, by the way?
So fresh. Okay, so now we're at another place that you probably won't see.
Oh. Your Chinese is good.
Yeah.
What does it say on the building? Not this textile crap in the background there.
Oh, Idailu.
Yeah.
So it's the Belt and Road Initiative.
It's a Belt and Road Initiative like showpiece, okay?
It's China's imperialism.
Yes.
Their new imperialism campaign.
So they go from one Belt and Road thing to another Belt and Road thing. And what are they going to talk about this time? This is such a natural vlog, by the way.
It is.
Do you remember the title of this video?
What was it again?
We spend time with a Muslim Xinjiang family or whatever. We have dinner with them. Whatever. We stay with a Uyghur family.
Yeah. Well, let's
this is what it is.
See on any vlogger's vlog coming here to Xinjiang province. So just exploring this place is super amazing. It shows from the very start how the cotton is picked all the way to the end and how it's shipped off to the rest of the world just from the ports that we're actually at.
Yeah.
Let's not.
So
let's do a little research before the government funds a trip to a contentious region where there's a genocide that they're trying to cover up and trying to make sure people don't know that they're forcing Uyghur people to pick cotton as slaves.
Bro, like Australian bro, what is wrong with you? Are you that dumb?
Did you Google where you were going?
Do you realize that they're using your face, your nationality, and your pretty wife to go out there and say that there's no forced labor of Uyghurs? You know? They are using you as genocide denial, forced labor denial. Is that something you want on your conscience? Do you want that to be you? Do you want to be the guy who is appearing on Chinese state media not only your own video, which is shameful as it is, but on Chinese state media, which you'll see later, using you and your wife as proof that they are not separating families, they're not taking children away from their parents, they're not taking fathers away, they're not forcing people to abandon their religions and cultures, that they're not torturing people, that they're not forcing them to do hard labor. You want to be that guy? Yeah. Do you want to be that guy? Because now you are. Well done.
Well, let's get into it.
Naughty badge for you. How Beijing forces Uyghurs to pick cotton. There's plenty of evidence that this is the truth.
Linked below.
Yep.
So I'll start with the cotton. So as you can see here behind me, this is the cotton that is picked in the cotton fields. This gets picked, then sorted, then turned into nice cotton.
Wait, what? It's sorted, then picked, then turned into nice cotton.
That's how it works.
How about...
It was mean cotton before.
Yeah, how about actually knowing what you're talking about before you start? I wonder what he's going to say next.
Then filtered into a string.
It's filtered? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't think you filter cotton into a string, but whatever. Okay, well, okay.
Oh, no.
Now, okay, listen. I'm not the kind of person who says cultural appropriation because whatever, wear whatever you want, right? Sure. But this has got that vibe to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but it does kind of have that vibe.
Yes.
It's like, let's dress up as the persecuted minority here and pretend nothing's wrong.
Yeah, they're going to dress up as Kazakhs now.
Yeah.
I got Sophia. She looks so cool. Oh my
Look at
gosh.
this.
So we both look Kazakh now, which is really cool. So yeah, what do you guys reckon? Leave us a comment. What do you think about our...
Don't.
Ooh, dude, don't tempt me. What do I think?
Continue.
Yeah.
Continue. Let's
Because
continue.
I got a couple of ideas. I got a couple of things I'd like to say. Maybe you guys can, just in the chat, tell us what you think of his costume.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Continue.
I just really want to say that. Okay,
Don't do that.
Okay, I won't. I'll leave it.
Don't do it.
I'll leave it. But I would like everyone to please pay attention to these costumes because they'll be relevant
Very
later.
relevant in their
Okay?
sense, yeah.
Pay attention.
Score out of 10 would be great.
Minus 50, dude.
Okay, so right now we are out the front of... Where are we, darling?
We are at Xinjiang Pharmaceutical Uyghur Medicine.
Company right here actually helped people during COVID with healing and restoring the respiratory system.
Dude,
Now he's doing COVID propaganda.
COVID propaganda now. CCP, COVID propaganda, genocide denial, forced labor denial, cultural appropriation, whatever you want to do.
It's like,
Let's continue.
It's like a ball of evil.
Dude, it's like how much can we wring this guy out?
Yeah. We're going to use him for every single talking point, propaganda
This
talking
is in
point.
one video.
Yes. This is his one video. It's like, we stay with a Muslim Uyghur family.
I love the hammer and sickle going to
It's super fascinating to see.
Yes. Yes, I zoomed in on it.
Because the CCP is trying to promote traditional Chinese medicine right now.
Yes.
As a cure-all for everything. They're putting billions into it.
Yeah.
And he's doing that now.
Yeah.
You're a stooge.
My word.
You're a stooge.
You're disgusting. So,
So here's the deal.
yeah.
I started going, you know what? I need to figure out where and how this happened. Very quickly, started to pull up some articles of state media that was saying that there was something put together to promote Xinjiang. Right?
Yeah.
This is where it got very, very interesting because what I noticed was something from the annals of my mind because it's something that went away, okay? I saw these pictures come up on an account on Facebook called Explore Xinjiang, which is a Chinese state media account. But what I noticed mostly up in the corner was it said a date with China. Can you hit play?
Yes.
And I was like, where have I heard that before? I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah, a date with China.
And it's something bad, but I had to figure it out. So I started doing some research again.
Yeah.
And yes, I have covered this before. This is something that's been resurrected. In fact, it was from the 2021 reports of ASPE, which is a fantastic report called Borrowing Mouths to Speak on Xinjiang.
Yes.
In this
Link in the
report-
description.
Link in the description. In this report, focuses on 3 in-depth case studies that analyze Xinjiang-focused foreign influencer content and the amplification of the content by Chinese state entities. The case study 1 was the Date with China propaganda campaign.
Yeah.
Now, those pictures you just saw of them dressed up, that's from 2024.
Yes.
So I'm like, this study is from 2021. How odd, right?
Yes.
Something that kind of got rid of because they were too exposed with these reports, right?
Yes.
In fact, it says social media influencers from Canada, Germany, UK, and Ghana took part in a Date with China media tour of Xinjiang in May 2021, which is held under the auspices of the Cyberspace Administration of China, the CAC. The tour was co-organized by China Daily and 11 of China's provincial-level cyberspace administration, including Xinjiang CIC. That's going to be important.
Sure.
So that's central government, by the way. Content created as a part of the Xinjiang leg of the A Date with China tour received significant online amplification across U.S.-based social media platforms. China Daily articles and videos, in addition to other related material, have been promoted at least 150 times by China state media and Ministry of Foreign Affairs accounts on Facebook alone. That will be very relevant soon.
Sure.
The most active Facebook page is sharing A Date with China content, where the People's Daily what is it? We are what? You're blocking it.
We Are China.
We Are China account. And the Japanese version of the People's Daily account. Go ahead. So this was something they did back in 2021. So I'm like, wait, have they just resurrected this? So I see this account.
Yes.
Posted October 21st, 2024. I do some sleuthing.
Because they released that video 3 months ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's no way they're doing this shit again. There's
But
no way, right? But they have. In fact, they have A Date with China tour in Xinjiang, resurrected this year, and it's happening right now too.
Yeah.
As a state government thing. So I wanted some receipts. I want to be like, let's just let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just rebranded this the same thing.
Yes.
Right? So I had someone take to DeepSeek in Hong Kong. Okay. And they went on DeepSeek to ask some questions about this Jack and Sophia tour. Okay, this is that channel, right?
Yes.
And if you go to the next one, we can look at the
translation.
the translation of the conclusion. So the department that directly funded, this is China's AI, by the way. This is not a Western interpretation.
We specifically asked the Chinese AI because it'll have access to the Chinese articles and so on.
The department that directly funded Jack and Sophia Tour's trip to Xinjiang is the Xinjiang Autonomous Region Party Committee Cyberspace Affairs Office. And the background of their activities is consistent with China's overall policy direction of promoting international communication and promoting Xinjiang's openness and cooperation. Straight up central government propaganda funded this trip, according to China.
Yes.
Some other interesting things here, by the way. You can read through this in your own leisure. You can take this out for a second. But one thing, one conclusion it said, maybe Ned did something like this, National Endowment for Democracy, right? But this is my favorite part. It says, and other organizations have long funded infiltration activities targeting Xinjiang, but there's no evidence that they're related to Jack and Sophia's trip to Xinjiang. On the contrary, the content of the two people's trips reflects positive propaganda about the development of Xinjiang, which is obviously contrary to the divisive goals of organizations such as NED.
Yeah.
So AI concluded, with sources, by the way, that this trip was funded by this Xinjiang Autonomous Region Cyberspace Administration, which is really bad, by the way.
By the way, they did cite sources, so it's not just an AI vomit. Like, there are sources.
It comes up with the websites, right? Now, more importantly, you have to understand the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Regions Party Committee Cyberspace Affairs Office.
This is the one that organized this trip for them.
Correct. Well, according to that AI. So I wanted to go, I wanted to triple check. I was like, let's just make sure, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at this. We know it was affiliated at least, right? So looking at this, you see this Date with China thing? This is their 2021 media tour. So I was like, let me go back in the archives and see who organized that one.
Yes.
Right? Like, the Aspie report said. And let's go in and zoom in a little bit here. Enhance. In 2021, this particular trip was organized, with all these other influencers by the Cyberspace Administration of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, which corroborates perfectly with what just happened now.
Correct.
The Central Cyberspace Affairs Commission is the branch of the CCP that controls these parts of the government. Yeah. And this particular one is under the direct Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party. It's quite literally under the highest branch of government in China.
Yeah.
Right? Continue. And that's important because,
now it makes sense. Number one, it makes sense that he would quote a Xi Jinping, because no travel vlogger is going to just randomly pluck that out of the air. They can't speak Chinese.
Yes.
So now he's quoting Xi Jinping propaganda. And also, now why are there videos being advertised? Someone's paying to advertise.
That's what we're going to get to in a second.
This is starting to make sense.
Make a lot of sense. I think we're starting to get to the bottom of this. So let's just talk about why. why is the Cyberspace Administration of the Central Committee, right, in China, why are they doing this, right? Well, if we go back to the original report back in 2021, so it says, the report explores how Chinese Communist Party uses foreign social media influencers to shape and push messages domestically and internationally about Xinjiang that are aligned with its own preferred narratives. Our research found key instances in which Chinese state entities have supported influencers in creation of social media content in Xinjiang, as well as amplified influencer content that supports pro-CCP narratives. Why does it exist? Well, the content broadly seeks to debunk Western media reporting, academic research, refute statements by foreign governments, and counter allegations of widespread human rights abuses in Xinjiang. Often such content is then promoted by party state media and diplomatic accounts across major international social media networks and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This trend is particularly notable given the difficulty faced by journalists reporting in Xinjiang. Bingo blango, what do we got? It quite literally just illustrates why that video exists, right? It is to debunk all of the things that people have proven are happening in Xinjiang, a modern day genocide. Go to the next slide.
Yep.
The interesting thing here is this particular thing. The Chinese party state continues to deny allegations of human rights abuses in Xinjiang, including forced labor, mass detention, cultural erasure, right? And you go through and you start to realize why they're doing this. And it's been proven. I would like to show you some proof. And this is what you're now associated with.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's go through here. This is the Xinjiang police files. These are thousands and thousands of people that have been detained into re-education centers because of the current genocide happening in China.
Yes.
This was hacked by someone. I can't remember who did it, but they uploaded not only all the inmates' photos, but blurbs from the Chinese police state.
Yeah, from the database.
From the database as to why they were detained.
Yes.
Right? And why some of the reasons they were actually taken away from their families and whether they were detained for re-education or for long imprisonment, right?
Yeah.
There is a treasure trove of incredibly disturbing imagery, of incredibly sad, unbelievably tear-jerking stories of these people, of how the Chinese government has gone into Western China and quite literally de-established their culture and completely dismantled everything that they have. And not just like, oh, you can't speak your language anymore, but quite literally erased everything and ripped people apart from their families and put them into decades of prison terms for doing nothing.
Let's show you a couple of things. They've got surveillance cameras inside of all the mosques, of course. The mosques that aren't tourist attractions, which you pay an entrance fee, by the way, which are most of them now.
But this is surveillance footage. They monitor every person that is worshiping.
These are contraband that they've confiscated.
So when they arrest people, arrest Uyghurs, they take their Qurans, they arrest
literally
them for
someone's
having a prayer
notebook,
a hood, a shawl. These are illegal items in China.
Yeah.
Right. This is what needs to be controlled. This is a police photo, by the way, of things that were taken from people that they have thrown into concentration camps. You know that, I don't want to say it's too disturbing, but like this really brings back memories of people if you've gone to certain museums.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to do this the whole, hey, Jack, look at this. But Jack, you're doing this on behalf of the Central Committee of the Chinese government for this reason. To support these activities, right? To tiger chair
to whitewash it,
and black bag people. This is a father. These are people's fathers that left their children because they were black bagged away. Tell this girl. What happened to her?
She was using niche chat tools, VPN, circumvention software.
Take us out.
So here's the thing: because she was using a VPN, she was.
Sent to re-education.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Jack. Did you use a VPN to upload your videos in China?
Because she went to re-education for God knows how many years. Because she used a chat tool, probably MSN or WhatsApp, to communicate with people. And you had to use a VPN because it's blocked in China.
Yes.
And got arrested and thrown into a concentration camp.
I'm pretty sure you used the VPN to check your Gmail and maybe your Facebook because that's all blocked in China, you know? You got to think about this stuff before you take these jobs because, again, why are you doing all this propaganda for the Chinese government? What, like...
Maybe when he's there, because he's there, right?
Yeah.
Well, he claims to be there. Why don't you go knock onto this, what is this, re-education facility?
Yeah.
Go knock on the door and ask, can I talk to this 17-year-old boy? Because do you know what his confession is?
What?
This is why he was sent to re-education. in January 2010, I studied scriptures with Mumuti Tai at Nuramet Razi's home for 15 days. This child,
15-year-old child.
17-year-old child, went to go study his religion.
Yeah.
And he was thrown in a re-education camp. It gets worse.
Sure.
This is like a little tiny like droplet of this happened to millions of people.
Yeah.
Millions.
Well, I mean, like, all you need to do is walk around in some crappy courtyard in the back of a house and say, this is real Xinjiang. This is real China.
Yes.
And then it's like, no, none of this happened, right?
This girl's a university student sent to re-education. This girl was sent to re-education to an industrial park, right?
Yeah.
Reason? Unknown.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. These are the people, the millions of people. This 69-year-old man, do you know why he was sentenced?
No idea.
Preliminary sentence. Do you know why?
Why?
It says he was a relative of 3 categories of personnel with a beard.
Okay.
And they documented how long he had a beard. They threw this guy into detention facility, not just re-education.
Yeah.
He's in prison, probably still, for having a beard.
Sure.
That was his crime.
Yep. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not a good look. I hope that apple was worth it.
How about this 73-year-old woman that was thrown into New Internment Camp K? Does that not give you chills? An old lady, a 73-year-old lady, was thrown into New Internment Camp K for doing what?
Yeah.
For being a Uyghur, for not being a Han Chinese.
Well, it says
You're not-
reason unknown.
You know what her reason was? She wasn't the right race.
Yeah. That's right.
This
not
is
good.
racial-based genocide.
It
It's
is.
been proven.
It is.
I just want to rip through some of these. A 15-year-old boy. Why?
No
Who knows?
reason.
He was sentenced. He's in jail.
Yeah.
A kid.
That's right. It's pretty rough.
This kid is 16. Do you know what he did? He was a relative of someone that was arrested. What do they say? The sins of my father?
Yeah, exactly. Sons of the fathers. Yeah.
A 16-year-old boy is in re-education because he was a relative of someone that was arrested.
Yeah.
This 17-year-old boy sent to Vocational Skills Education and Training Center for re-education. 6 people in the family were detained. Their thoughts fluctuated and their emotions were unstable. They were uneasy people, family members of detainees. He was a family member of people they didn't like, Uyghurs,
Yeah.
thrown in re-education.
Yeah, may as well. They probably took the parents away and he was just like,
Well, they took all 6 of them
everyone.
away.
And they're like,
And
well,
split them up.
yeah, he's here. So what are we going to do with him?
Let's see these 2 people. This kid is 20, right?
Yeah.
He was just a person involved. So again, re-educated because you knew the wrong person. This girl here, 26, she's in the New Internment Camp.
Yeah.
Reason? Unknown.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
She was the wrong race.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened. It's very easy when it says unknown.
But you showing us the authentic culture, right? By going to a Disneyland freaking theme park where they dance around in like fake clothing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they're not going to be able to go to Industrial Park A2 where she's doing forced labor. Do you know why?
Why?
She had the illegal study of scriptures of her religion, and she wore a veil.
Ah.
She wore a veil and studied the scriptures, and now she is she's detained. She was arrested, not just re-education. She's in jail.
Yep.
You know that black bag with the cuffs? That's her.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty rough. How about this old woman?
Now let's finish off with a 73-year-old woman. A 73-year-old woman that is in a new internment camp. This is somebody's grandmother.
Yeah.
And again, did you go talk to these people? Because millions of them were or are in concentration
No,
camps.
you know what they did is they went along with a bunch of government minders, state media, who organized everything for them, said, here, film your thing, we'll stand out of the shot, pretend like you're doing like a natural travel vlog, put it on your channel. Don't mention that you were sponsored by the Chinese government propaganda department. Don't mention that we're taking you to all these places and organizing everything and making sure that you don't see anything you're not supposed to see. Don't mention any of that. You go tell everybody this is the real Xinjiang. This is real authentic culture. And that helps us.
And by the way, you know that part where he told you to say that Xi Jinping quote?
Yeah.
Someone figured it out. Get rid of that part. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Somebody told him to. Well, I think he saw my video and he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, to be honest.
Let's just finish off with this.
15-year-old?
Maybe you can reach out to Raheel Omer, who is 15 years old, sent to re-education.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would love your
She's
video.
interned in the industrial city. That sounds great.
She'll love your video.
Yeah.
The real Uyghur family that you got to stay with.
Yes,
She'll
exactly.
love that.
Now, this has happened before.
This is not our first rodeo, guys.
Yeah. Stop putting ads on our videos.
part of my language, don't fucking do it.
Yes.
Don't do this.
Yes.
Don't take out ad campaigns on our videos because we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And guess what? We figured it out before because we took down one of the biggest genocide denial networks 3 years ago. This is called the story of Xinjiang by Gu Li. China hired some people to pretend to show the real Xinjiang, took out ad campaigns on our videos, and then aggressively went after us.
Yes.
They would, every time you open one of our videos, they must have taken out like $100,000 campaigns.
I think so.
Every time you'd click on one of our videos, it would have these girls be like, don't listen to the lies about what's happening in Xinjiang. We'll show you the real Xinjiang,
Yeah.
right? So we started going after them. We started digging. Right?
Yeah.
I said, why are you and your Chinese government employers paying for massive ad campaigns on my YouTube channel? Tell your government minders that it's pretty embarrassing to create entire channels and waste enormous amounts of money on a cover-up of a genocide.
Yep.
So we went after it.
Yeah.
We went after it, and they started hitting back. They said, why are you bullying us, right?
Yeah.
We were like, no. And we found out their third-party MCN.
Yes.
We figured out where it was coming from. We figured out the branch of government that was doing it. And we dismantled it. We went after them hard.
Yeah.
They tried to do these videos with like, we're such sad girls. Look
Don't
at how about my
listen to these
ponytail?"
Lao 86 sipping today. How about my ponytail?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the OG guys will remember that.
This is an old.
That was a big thing,
great
and we
story,
spanned it across all 3 of our channels.
Yeah.
And we actually got that shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were growing rapidly
Yes.
because of these ad campaigns against us. And what we did was we uncovered it. And we took probably...
Look, they were followed by Zhao Lijian.
Yeah, which is the foreign minister.
Yeah, speaking of the foreign minister, you're going to see in a second.
Foreign minister spokesman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so they even like tried to add him to get him to attack us.
Yeah, they tried to threaten us. They said, how about it? Are you afraid? At Zhao Lijian. They added the foreign ministry spokesman who had already been following them, by the way.
Yes,
This is all a campaign against us.
Correct.
And it was removed.
Yeah.
Their account was removed.
Back when Twitter took that kind of thing seriously. Anyway.
that goes into what just happened.
Yes, okay.
Very
So
interesting.
we've, for a while now, been talking about the fact that China's foreign ministry spokesperson, the spokeswoman, Mao Ning, has an official X account or Twitter account. She joined only this year, immediately joined, and I've been kind of really pissed off that this is allowed because they don't allow Chinese people to go on Twitter or X.
Because it's banned in
It's
China.
banned and blocked. You cannot access it. You need a VPN. And if you get caught using a VPN, well, you know...
We just showed you what happens. You go
You
to
can,
a
you can,
re-education
depending on
facility.
where you are in the country, you can get a slap on the wrist, you can get a fine, or you can go to jail. Just
Or you
depending.
can be disappeared forever.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, she's on there putting this Chinese propaganda again and again and again. Now, just to remind of who she is, okay, I'll show you a little thing over here. She's the person who stands up and always like scolds the West or scolds America. That's what she does for a
美国政府
living.
要做的是放弃双重标准，正视国内警察暴。
Stop looking like the US. Stop looking the other way when it comes to police brutality and racial discrimination at home.
I'm sorry. Did you not just see what we just showed you? You genocided Western China based on their race and culture and ethnicity and language and religion, and you black bagged them and forced them into concentration camps.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Exactly. So anyway, this ministry person, she's not a nice person.
No.
Okay.
Well, the Chinese government's not nice.
Yeah, she is the spokesperson. She says all this nasty stuff, and she accuses America of doing all sorts of bad things.
Yeah, they really hate
种
America.
族歧视的问题。
Okay, so you know what she did? Dude, remember a couple episodes ago, I made that little montage, and this was a collaborative effort, by the way, and some of our audience members were part of this. They helped us find a lot of these travel vloggers and sent us links. Hey, these guys are all saying the same thing. So then together we did this. Then I edited it all together, and I made like a montage of everyone saying 22nd floor or whatever, right? So then I refined it for my latest video. So I made it even more, and I refined it and made it better. Some people on Twitter clipped it out of my video. They didn't, give me any credit, but I don't mind as long as it's getting out there. And they posted it and it was getting a lot of views. Mao Ning sees this thing going around and thinks it's positive propaganda and posts it. She posted it as if it was a good thing. Visit the incredible Guixing building in Chongqing, where the ground floor is also the 22nd floor.
22nd floored.
Yes. Mind-bending fun in the city of mountains. And she posted this literally left in the NPC meme.
People looked up the brain tubes.
Yes. Dude. So, I mean, like, this is like 40 chess. We managed to get the Chinese foreign ministry spokeswoman to tweet out
Our clip.
criticism of this stupid propaganda where everyone's paid and on the same script. So here's the actual
Or
clip.
incentivized.
Yeah, incentivized, yeah. Let's take a look. Here's the actual clip that she posted. And it's in all of its
feel
glory.
like it's ground floor.
On the ground.
Ground level.
The ground floor.
The ground level.
Ground floor.
Ground floor level.
Ground.
Ground floor.
Ground level.
On the ground floor.
First floor.
First floor.
Ground level. The ground.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that we were on terra firma. However,
We are
in fact,
But you actually...
I'm actually.
While actually...
Is actually.
You're actually...
But actually, we're actually
You're on the 22nd floor of a building.
On the 22nd floor.
22 stories up.
20 stories above the ground.
You're on the 20th floor.
That we are 22 floors up.
We are on the 22nd floor right now.
Yep. 22 floors up.
You're at 22nd. On the 22nd floor. On the 22nd floor.
And down here, there's 22 floors down the side of this building. Oh my days, check that out.
22nd floor.
So this is what she posted.
I'm sorry, the Chinese government at the highest level thought that that all the people saying exactly the same script, which clearly exposes this as a propaganda campaign.
Yes.
They thought other countries' people are going to watch this and say that's a good thing.
Yes.
It is the worst PR I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It shows China's the most inauthentic country that has propaganda and foreign influencers doing it, and then posts it as if it's a PR stunt.
You know what's interesting, though? You can get a little bit of insight into how the Chinese government is taking advantage of X and other social media platforms. Is immediately after she posted, amplifier accounts, which are linked to the
Write
Chinese
these down.
government.
If you're going to track this stuff, write this down.
Take a look, word for word. They copied exactly what she said. They edited slightly, like added some bold or added a hashtag, but it's the same script.
Yeah, these are most likely CCP and amplifier propaganda accounts. Worth noting.
But I mean, like, immediately.
Immediately. Worth noting.
Yes. So it's kind of like it all
a foreign
happens at the same
influence
time.
campaign.
Yeah. So now they're taking whatever propaganda she puts out that they think is good propaganda, they run with it and they go put it out, right? So this is random accounts. And then we get like, let's see, there was more. It's like some random Chinese embassy somewhere in the world here.
I love that the freaking NPC meme's still in there from our
know,
clip.
it's
We
so
made
dumb.
this clip and Mao Ning put it out. It's the closest we've ever gotten to the CCP.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Top CCP official.
The fact that they think that's a good idea to put that out there.
That is just the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
That's chocolate.
Mind-bending fun in the city of mountains, you know? Ground floor equals 22nd floor NPC. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So you got some random Chinese embassy is doing hashtag China travel and posting that.
So that's an official amplifier there.
Yes. This China perspective I showed earlier, but this is another one of those guys. But, you know, just to remind you who this person is, because, okay, it gets a little more sinister. We will take all measures to firmly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests. Okay. Do you realize that, you know, we can make fun of all the, my Chocolado or whatever, but dude, Chocolado, dude, you are now linked to the Chinese government propaganda, like in a big way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how it's going to be used later.
Now they're using you, okay? Look at that. Mao Ning, who's going on and telling America that, you know, they've got homeless drug people and it's their fault and, you know, they're weak or whatever.
And racist and bad and...
is now
China's
also putting you out
king of the
as
world.
like, look how great China is.
Yeah.
Now you are associated with that, you know?
反观美国，人口仅占世界5%，却消费了全球80%的阿片类药物。
Yeah, because you're sending it there. U.S. a black hole and source of a problem for global drug control.
是一家独大的
U.S. is the single largest major drug
主要
demand
毒品需
country
求国，没有资格对中国
and is no position to wag its
的禁毒
finger.
努力说三道
China's
四。
counter-narcotics
美国
efforts.
毒品泛滥
The incompetence and ineffective control is the true cause of the pervasive drug problem in
的
the
根源
U.S.
在于自身能力不强，管控不力。
You know, but then like now you're associated with this, you know, the China Foreign Ministry.
The central government.
I wanted to make a point. There's a reason I'm showing this. A lot of people push back when I show that these guys are doing these propaganda fluff pieces. They're like, Well, America also has tourism boards.
It's not the same.
Yeah, that's the difference. If you go to the Grand Canyon or you go to Yosemite, Yosemite, or something like that, and you're like, oh, look at Old Yeller or whatever it is. Sorry, Old Faithful,
Old Yeller's a dog.
Yes, I know, but it's a Yeller.
Probably not going to see him.
Yellowstone,
Yeah.
So you got this old... They're not going to take this dude that's going to Old Yeller, whatever, Old Faithful, and showing the geyser and being like, and he's like, look at this beautiful scenery. They're not going to then go to the White House where they have their like press briefing and say, there's no drug problem in America
because
this guy went to Old Faithful, and look, there were no homeless people there. So there's a big separation. Tourism, what would you even call it? It's not even propaganda. It's like promotion.
Yeah.
Tourism promotion in other countries is tourism promotion.
Yes.
It's literally like, okay, you want to go to Monaco because you can sit there and have a champagne and look at the beautiful view.
Yes.
And they're like, swank this, nice hotels, great beaches. That's promotion of travel. Okay? Tourism. China doesn't do that.
No.
China takes somebody who says like, oh, look at the food here is fantastic, and then uses it for genocide denial propaganda.
Or to go in and say, this is why America's bad. You have gun problems. Look at this train.
Yes.
Right? China has the best high-speed rail in the world. And you're like, okay, he's doing train propaganda. Then it's like, oh, Xi Jinping took everyone out of poverty and there's no one's poor left
Exactly.
now. And it's not true.
Exactly. So when you think you're just participating in tourism, promotion or something, it's not. You are participating in China's big, aggressive propaganda machine.
It's part of Jianghao Zhongguo Gushi.
Yeah.
And if you're doing these that are set up by these MCNs, right, you're actually part of the Chinese government's multi-billion-dollar campaign.
Correct.
To take over the world.
Yeah. So let's see. What else does she say? The U.S. is overstretching the concept of national security and abusing state power.
Why is the Chinese government so
foreign
nasty?
companies?
Why is it so nasty about stuff?
I love this. She's obviously in reference to TikTok here.
Okay.
To suppress foreign companies, okay? So hang on a second. We firmly oppose those wrong actions. The U.S. government should respect the principles of market economy and fair competition.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Stop suppressing the companies and provide an open, fair, and non-discriminatory environment for foreign companies in the U.S.
That's
rich.
China literally forces you to relinquish 51% of your company to a Chinese company and then monitors you and puts party officials to monitor your business and then steal your IP and then kick you out.
China does not have an open or fair or non-discriminatory environment for foreign companies in the US.
No.
You cannot just go and launch a product in China.
No.
It's not open. It's not fair. And they ban you all the time. They banned and blocked every bloody app from the West. So it's rich, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And she went on about that DeepSeek thing. They're like, America shouldn't ban DeepSeek, right?
Mm-hmm.
They banned OpenAI in China and they banned every American website and app.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you.
Yes, no, you. But then again, look, now you, travel vlogger man, are now associated with this. Okay? You've got the Chinese foreign spokesperson using your face and your image as a way to promote China for their own goals.
For political gain.
Yes.
Not for tourism.
Not for tourism. This is not, by the way, Mao Ning is not some kind of like tourism queen.
No.
She's not an influencer running around like taking selfies on the beach. She is literally the person telling everyone that the US is full of drug people and whatnot.
Way worse than that.
Yeah, she says a lot of terrible
promoting
things.
China's best interest.
This is the foreign ministry spokeswoman, okay? And it gets worse. Here I am, just looking for Chinese propaganda as I do on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we both do.
Which is, it's always a painful part of the week.
Depressing.
And I come across this on New China TV, which is Xinhua, Chinese state media. Way to go, China. And they've got a video, right? And they are including one of their useful idiot travel propagandists here.
A great travel blogger.
Yeah, exactly. But now,
a good guy.
Yeah.
Seems like I like his videos. I'm not joking. But this is what you
this
end
is
up
what happened.
doing.
Yes, and that's why people don't know what they're dealing with when they deal with China. Because this guy, Drubinsky, here you are in Chinese state media, and what do you think this Chinese state media video is about? It says, "Way to go, China." It's got you in there. It's got a bunch of other travel vloggers in there, and then it says, "Lifted." What do you think it's going to say next? Out of poverty. Now, you are the face of poverty alleviation propaganda in China. Did you sign up for that?
Probably not. Well, probably in a way by doing travel videos in China through these MCNs that have scripts or these talking points you have to do, you end up doing propaganda for China.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is
you sold your soul.
Well, yeah, the issue with that is like, let's say poverty alleviation, you might not even know why that's a problem. But the problem is that Xi Jinping declared that everyone in China was lifted out of extreme poverty.
Yes.
But what actually happened was they went around and arrest people that show poverty now.
Yes.
Because it was declared by the great dictator of China that there's no more poverty, right?
Yeah.
Now hundreds of millions of people that are living in poverty, by the way, abject poverty.
Yes.
Hundreds of millions of people in China cannot even talk about it. They can't say. There was people that filmed their wedding not to expose poverty.
Yeah, they're
like, oh,
filmed
we're
their
so
wedding.
happy we're having our wedding, and they had some beers and some like stuff on the floor because they're so poor.
Yeah.
They got arrested.
Yeah.
They got arrested by the government for showing that they were poor, right?
Yeah.
So now you're the face of poverty alleviation that didn't happen in China because the great dictator said so. You're part of Jianghao Zhongguo Gushi,
Yes.
whether you like it or not. And that's the problem I have with these travel vloggers is not that they're doing travel promotion. I think a lot of them don't even know.
No.
But this is why we're making this video is to educate you. When you do this, you are part of something very nefarious.
Yes.
Whether you know it or not.
And there's no way out.
No, because they will use your stuff forever.
Chinese state media has used you. They've set you up so you kind of owe them anyway for the majority of these guys. Of course, not everybody is being paid by the Chinese government. Not everybody is being led around by their nose by a Chinese minder. But a lot of them are because guess what? It's convenient. It's
also illegal to walk around by yourself and film whatever you want.
Yes.
You can't do that in China.
Yeah, there are some cities where it's tolerated. Like, the big cities, Shanghai, Beijing.
Even then.
But they keep an eye on you.
Yeah, they will. You'll have a minder.
But, you cannot go to Xinjiang without some sort of official,
We've
connection.
spoken to people that have been to Xinjiang because they had to do some sort of journalistic thing. And I'm not going to give you details for their own privacy.
Yeah.
It is the most insane. It's worse than North Korea in that they orchestrate things to actually divert people from certain areas.
You'll also notice that if people do try to go there by themselves, there's always this interesting situation where a random girl will approach them and be like, hey, can I get your phone number? Or they're like, hi, welcome to Xinjiang. Let me show you my family or something.
Yes.
Those are undercover police. Those are the agents watching you. It's definitely
also the people trying to get you to show an idyllic picture.
Yes, exactly. It's not good. So what I'm saying is when you deal with the devil like this, they now own your soul. They're going to use you for their own nefarious, very aggressive propaganda. It's not just poverty alleviation. In this one video alone, they did BRI, they did a bunch of other stuff too.
A lot of stuff. Why do you think China hated us so much? We showed the good stuff in China. We did TV documentaries. We made videos. We were very positive about China, but it wasn't what they wanted to show.
Yes.
And so they drove us out. They hated what we did because they couldn't control what we were doing. We never signed on with state media.
No, we
so
didn't
these
get
guys
permits
do.
from them. We just did it.
What they've done is they've kind of created this barrier through these third-party companies, and you think that you're doing tourism stuff, but actually what you're doing is you're doing top CPC, CCP, both branches of the top level of government.
CPPCC.
In promoting their ideology and their nefarious doings without even knowing you're doing that.
So I would like to just put an appeal out there. Anyone who's thinking of going to China, if you're going to go do travel vlogs and you're going to be genuine about it, no problem. But if you've gotten some kind of an invite, and it doesn't matter if it sounds like some legitimate Lonely Planet type thing, because that's never the case. Sometimes they try to confuse you and they'll use names.
Buzzwords.
Yeah, buzzwords that sound like a real thing. Don't take any of these deals.
Read the fine print too.
Yeah. But just don't take the deals because there's no way to back out of it. Once you've done it, they now own you, and they will own your image, and they will use it. And
for a lot of things.
Yeah. Just go there if you're going to film by yourself and be legit. But if someone's organizing something for you, someone's paying for a hotel, paying for your travel, paying for a meal, taking you to special places to go and look, like a freaking land port. What kind of a travel vlogger wants to go to a stupid cargo port?
It's because it was organized.
Yeah.
Right? And
then you know.
DeepSeek told us.
Yeah. And just remember that, if you have such a bad conscience that you can sleep at night after doing what you did there, Apple man,
I genuinely don't think he knows the ramifications of this, but like moral ramifications. I just think it's crazy to go to a place that's so contentious and not look it up on Google first, because there is so much proof that we've linked down below of what's happening there.
Especially when they keep pushing you to like, oh, show the real culture. Talk about
say
this.
Put that blurb in there about how Uyghur people
Wouldn't
actually
you be a little
richer.
bit suspicious?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be like, why do they keep asking me to like focus on this? Why do they keep asking me to say this?
Yeah, the thing that's a little suspicious too is why'd you remove the Xi Jinping quote in the beginning of the video? I mean, like
he knows what he did.
I think he knows maybe in post of what's happened.
Exactly.
Right? I don't think he went there with nefarious intent.
Yeah. Anyway, we've uncovered a lot more and a lot deeper into that whole propaganda thing. We've got a lot of documents and a lot of stuff like that, but we don't want to show it all right now, and it'll take too long.
I want to say one thing. What is the lesson here? I like your advice. I also think that there needs to be a rule that you need to disclose who funded your trip.
Yes.
And I don't, like I said, I've said this before. If you want to go do CCP propaganda and your country allows doing propaganda for an adversarial nation.
Sure.
And you want to sell your soul, you want to do whatever you want. I think that's your freedom. If you're from a free country, go do that.
Sure.
Do whatever you want to do. Stay safe. But you should have to disclose who funded your trip.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very simple thing to ask for. It's kind of like how Twitter got rid of all the government labels and stuff. We need those. We need to know who's working for
I think you're
adversarial
absolutely
nations.
right. It's like if you get a sponsorship from someone, you can't just be like, this tea tastes great.
Just
you
like
should
if we have an AG1 ad, it says down below, this is a sponsored video.
Yeah.
You know, we'll tell you who sponsored it.
Yes. Don't pretend like, oh, this product is really nice.
Yes.
Ooh, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to disclose it.
I think it's important.
There's got to be a disclaimer.
Especially if it's adversarial propaganda.
Now if Appleman was a decent bloke, he would make a video and just say like, listen, yes, I was paid. This is how it was.
Right.
And
They
I mean,
funded
just
this and this and this.
be honest about it.
I thought it was this. Yeah.
Yes, just be honest about it.
Sure.
Just be like, hey, listen,
I didn't know it was bad.
It was a great opportunity. They took me around. They showed me factories. They gave me access to things I didn't know. Yes, it was the Chinese government propaganda thing, but you know, it is a great experience. Just be honest about it. At least people know what they're seeing. Don't pretend like you're some kind of like, oh, special access. I'm such a cool guy. I'm just like going
Vloggers
around.
don't get to do this.
Yeah, I'm going around and I'm seeing all these things.
It's
I want to
dude,
share.
you have
like,
CCP minders.
You're
that
not
made that happen.
You didn't do anything other than be led around by your nose.
Yeah,
like an ox
by a propaganda department.
Yes, and taken to places and said, film.
To make it look. And again, I don't think his intent was to deny the Uyghur genocide.
Sure.
But that's what the purpose of these tours are.
Yes.
You know, and it's clear now. ASPI has done so many reports. New York Times, all these different publications have done reports on this.
Yeah.
It's been exposed by Chinese people themselves.
Yes.
It's been exposed by Uyghurs that have fled and their families are still there.
Yeah.
It has been exposed so many times that you should know. You should know.
Should we go straight to Q&A? Or do you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, guys, it's Yum Cha time. This is where we answer your questions and you question our answers. You know, today's show kind of made me a little mad getting it all ready because it sucks, okay? Especially when you can see the picture clearly. And I hate deception. And I hate when travel vloggers are deceptive. And I hate the way the Chinese government works because it's all based on deception, lies,
And I do think they get
and
tricked
facades.
by them.
Yeah,
I do think they get tricked.
Exactly. That's why I will always give someone the benefit of the
too,
doubt. And
if they
if
explain.
Appleman wants to come out and make a video, then I'll put it in. Put it in the show.
Absolutely. And if he was just like, "Oh, this is a good opportunity," and I didn't know, I think that's great.
Yes.
And I will say, I'm glad you did that.
Exactly.
That's fine.
So there's a redemption arc.
And I'll shout out the rest of his videos. I'm not even joking. Like
Yeah.
where he goes to other countries, I have no problem.
There is a redemption arc
There
if he wants to go with it. Also, learn to chew with your mouth closed, please, man. That's so gross.
Sure.
Anyway, guys, it's time to loosen the tie. It's Friday after all. I hope you guys are ready for the weekend. I think it'll be a nice one, I hope. Let's hit the Q&A. And for those of you not sticking around on the weekend, those of you who are not sticking around now live, we bid you farewell because on Monday we cut